LRBAquatics.com. Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing great. And as always, if it's not, I hope it's getting better for you, because nobody likes to be down in the dumps. Today I wanted to share with you guys a little reminder of the cold weather that's going to be making its way here soon to us. And I haven't had any issues with it myself. Last year I did have a little issues with it, and so did many other people who have a fish room. And what I'm talking about is cold weather. So old man winter, he's on the way. I'm not a fan of him. Really don't like wintertime. I really don't like wintertime. If old man winter was a man, I'd done kicked him in the balls a long time ago. But he's not, so I can't do that. So I have to deal with him. And one killer that we often don't think about this time of year is that cold temp that comes with old man winter. And having a fish room, it can be a big problem if you're not paying attention to your temperatures. And you'll get some kind of fungus coming up on them, maybe some kind of parasite or something else. Wesley made it. What's up, buddy? And something like that. So that'll often come out and show on your fish when they get in those colder temps, because they become more susceptible to these diseases. But I like to use this right here. I've got a temperature gun. It's kind of handy. It's not the most accurate, but if you got a lot of tanks, you can hit them real quick. And then the good old trusty temp strips are also handy. Those right there, Wesley, you see them? That's how we tell how warm the water is. So right now I'm at 74 degrees. I do have heaters plugged into this. And 32 Celsius, I think that's 23 Celsius. Oh, 22 right below it? Okay. But with having concrete as well, you got to think about the cold radiating from outside. Like, I got the room heated, but the cold also radiates through the concrete. So my bottom tanks often get hit with it first. And my crypts are actually a good reminder for me, because anytime crypts roots get a little colder, me and Gary Lang, oh poor boy, he's still got a little cough. But anytime crypts get a little cooler than what they normally are, they will melt. Gary Lang and I have discussed that. He actually came up with that theory, and I totally agree. Are you alright, bud? You just hurt yourself. Oh, poor boy. But yes, it's something that we should think about this time of year, because I have seen it hit so many fish rooms and so many tanks and cause so many issues with just having the temperature being a little cooler. Now, most of our tropical fish, they like to be in the low 70s. They really don't like to get into the 60s. Now, some barbs and goldfish and whatnot, they can get down into like the mid 60s or so. But you don't want to get them too cold. You are Wesley in the box. Ship you out. Who's buying? But you see this tank, it's only like 71 degrees, so it's getting pretty chilly. And I keep barbs down there since I don't have heaters in there yet. But I am going to plug in this electric heater. This is what I'm going to use to help keep the garage warm. It's a oiled filled electric radiator heater. Hope it's got a lot of batteries. Well, we're going to plug it into the wall. That's why all that energy comes from the wall. But it'll get real hot, and this will heat up my whole garage. And then as the ambient temperature gets into the tanks, it should hold a lot of the heat in as well. Yep, I can push the buttons. I can put it to whatever temp I want. And it's pretty cheap. I got that on Walmart for like, I think 150 bucks, something like that. So that wasn't too bad. I used to use those little space heaters in Those worked all right. Those are good for smaller fish rooms, like little cheap. I think they're like 50 bucks or so, little space heaters. Jump, jump, jump. What do you think, mister? But yeah, it's something to think about. Make sure your tanks aren't getting too cold. Watch out for that radiant temperature coming from the concrete. And also you can use the radiant temperature to your benefit. Since I have a lot of these tanks, I've been thinking about getting the heating guys out here, maybe just blowing a fan from upstairs to downstairs here. Kitty, will you share this chair with me? I can't even get into my own chair. Like, I love my family. I love being surrounded by all the love of my family. You know, sometimes I'd like to have a little space cat. Meow. Little Miss Kitty, what's that boy doing over there? He's getting a little wild, ain't he? Getting a little wild. Alright, I'm going to scroll through here, see if there's any questions. Wesley, you got any questions about this, keeping your fish room warm? I like to use the Odessa heaters. They're pretty cheap. You get them from eBay. They work real well for me, super cheap. How do you keep your kitties out of your tanks? They just know better. I just give them that look, like, don't do that. And they don't do that. Because, I don't know, you just tell them not to. You got to kind of train them. I don't mind if they get like a drink out of it or whatever, but for the most part, they don't mess with them. They will sit there and watch them. You like that big tank back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool to watch, ain't it? It's big. You and I went and picked that up, didn't we? You and I go pick up that big tank in Daddy's truck? Goose. Can you feed Oscar snails? I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I've never tried it, Chris G. I'd hope they wouldn't get hit by the, get the actual shell stuck in them. Do the jingle. I did the jingle at the beginning. You gotta reboot the video to hear the jingle. Can goldfish stay in cold water all year? I was just reading up on it, and it's like mid-60s or so that they say. I've never actually tested like a goldfish's limits. I know some will live underneath the ice, maybe some won't. Depends on how they're bred and conditioned, maybe. So, alright. Do. Show the arowana. I wish I still had the arowana. Why would you bring that up, Olay? Unfortunately, I lost that like 2 years ago, a year or two ago. 2 years ago. And it really sucked. It jumped up, hit the top of the egg crate that was covering the tank, and got hurt and died. There was nothing I could do. Martin Wicker says goldfish can't eat under 65 without getting sick, so messes with the digestive system. That makes sense. Thanks for sharing that, Martin Wicker. Back 40 Aqua says my goldies are at 62 Fahrenheit. All good. 9 comments. 53 Big Mac says I've been in a video of guppies eating orange slices. Have you ever done that? I've never actually done that, but I have had a compost tank that I put like orange pills and everything else in. And like salad, onions, celery. And it had rainbow fish in it and shrimp and scuds. Good puppy. Woof, woof, woof. Good puppy. What do you think, Wesley?
What?
You got anything to say to these people? There's a bunch of people watching you right now.
Where?
Right here on the YouTube. See them all? See all these letters here? They're all talking to you. Did I give you a sign before you left? AE. Mad Tanks, you did give me a sign. You know what? I actually left out a bunch of stuff. Like I got this probiotic food from New Life Spectrum. I actually just had that out. The fish room sign. Because I had it in my container. And I was so worried about getting the fish taken care of, I didn't even bother to see what I had in the container. But I do. I got a fish tube.
Yeah!
Sign from Mad Tanks. Very awesome. Planning on painting it. That's his card, his info. Oh, what are you, king of the tote? planning on painting it black and red and hanging it up in here somewhere. But thank you for that, Andrew. Mad Tanks, really appreciate that. Let's see, what else did I have in there? I think I had some other like Fritz products. I don't know if I'll end up using them because they had like cancer warnings and stuff like that on them. Hey, careful, bud. You fall right through that. Let's hop off there. There you go. Ooh, careful. That was a big jump. All right, 53 Big Mac. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, saying $10 super chat. 53 Big Mac. I appreciate the gesture big time, and thank you so much. But all right, remember your temperature, guys. Make sure that they don't fall too low and it doesn't affect your fish. And Wesley, you gotta tell them something before we go?
Yeah.
What's that?
Peace.
Peace. All right, dude. You got it down, don't you? Yeah? No? Did I confuse you with that? All right. Peace, dude. Yeah. All right. Later on, everybody. Have a great one. Peace.